But just imagine being able to take a very high level sort of concept of a building. Literally, well, maybe not literally, but around the stage of a napkin sketch. I've sketched something out, I've got a high level floor plan, high level requirements, specifications of what my building needs to be able to do and achieve, and I can hit a button, and then within a couple hours, I'm getting back a fully coordinated, fully detailed design. And that means not at the level of output that I would have maybe done myself as an engineer, but the level of output that would have taken 6 months of that contractor working through coordination to achieve. That's really what we're trying to get to. If I could get that back immediately, and along with that level of detail, full analysis of, okay, how much is this actually going to cost? What does the bill of materials look like? How is it going to perform? What's the sequence of installation going to be? How would that change the way that you design? Imagine you could do that for not just the project that you're working on, but for hundreds of options in parallel. Every single design question or alternative that you are trying to explore, you can go and understand, what is this building going to look like given the decisions that I'm making today, or the questions that I'm asking of this project today? So this is really what we're trying to get to. We think that this is very crucial. We think that this would change the way that we build and design and build buildings, that would allow them to be a lot more efficient, would allow them to be built more quickly, and with a lot more certainty, ultimately. So it's vital that we do this, and we think it's actually very possible to achieve as well. And that's what I want to talk about now. So we are already seeing the first steps of this, and I'm going to detail out what we've been able to accomplish. So we've been working on this problem for 5 years. Turns out it is a very hard problem to solve. What we're doing is we're starting with automating the design, and usually when I present this, I make it clear that we're talking generally the VDC design, right? So we are starting with the contractors. We are automating what their internal VDC teams would do, and that's very important. And what we're doing is starting with the MEP systems. Within that, we've been even more focused starting with electrical. We are doing electrical first because it is the most computationally complex, not sort of complex from an engineering perspective necessarily, but from a computational perspective, there's a lot more to handle, a lot more detail to think about. So we've started there. And in addition, on most construction projects, it's the last to be modeled, right? So generally when the contractor's getting started, mechanical, plumbing, I've got something to start with. Quite often, electrical is generally just at the level of specification. I don't have anything to get started with. So those contractors are having to catch up really, really quickly and at least achieve parity and then get to those fully detailed designs really, really quickly. So there's a real need there as well. So this was a really important decision that we made, was to start with the contractors. I know I'm framing the presentation today as for architects and engineers, but the way we're doing this is that we are recognizing contractors have much stricter requirements for the level of detail and the level of correctness within those designs. They are the ones who have to think at the level of the threaded rod. Do I have rods of that length? Do I want to cut them all to the same length? How many lengths do I want to have on this project? Well, that's going to adjust or influence the height of my racks on this project, right? So they are thinking about the means and methods of construction. We want to start there. We want to create output that a contractor would be willing to put their own name on and say, I'm bringing this into coordination. My team did this, and then I'm going to give this to my fab shop and my field team. Once we've done that, then we have the certainty that, okay, now we can start to bring this upstream. Now we can abstract it and give this to an architect or an engineer and have them use it with confidence that when I hit that button, I'm producing something that I know can be built. Maybe that contractor is going to go and build it another way, but I know that there is a buildable solution, and this is exactly what that would look like.